I'm staring at the ceiling in the dark. I'm looking for a tiny silver spark. By the time I hit 10, I've already said your name, playing out the memories of a losing game. The sun comes up and the world begins to move, but I'm stuck inside a slow and lonely groove. I brush my teeth and I make a cup of tea, but you're the only thing that I can really see. The minutes are heavy, the hours are long, like a broken record of a favorite song. I'm counting the beats of a heart that is blue, just trying to get through the day without you. Call, I'm missing you every second, like a gravity I never could have reckoned. A cinematic ache in the middle of my chest, a ghost that won't let me get a minute of rest. Vulnerable and tired in a 2025 haze. I'm lost in the rhythm of these lonely days. The clock keeps turning, but it's always true. I'm missing you every second. I saw a car like yours on the corner of the street, and for half a second my heart skipped a beat. I checked my phone just to see the time, and I'm wishing that your name was still on the line. Sexy little heartbreaks in a single minute, a world that is hollow cause you aren't in it. I'm calculating distance, I'm calculating loss, counting every bridge that I'm never gonna cross. Time is a healer, or so they all say, but time is a thief that is stealing my day. Every tick is a tear, every talk is a sigh, underneath the cold and a starless sky. Yeah. I'm missing you every second, like a gravity I never could have reckoned. A cinematic ache in the middle of my chest, a ghost that won't let me get a minute of rest. On the rolling sides in a 2025 haze, I'm lost in a rhythm of its lonely days. The clock keeps turning, but it's always true. I'm missing you every second. Still right here, still missing you. I woke up reaching for the warmth of your arm, still protected by the ghost of your charm. There's a phantom pressure on the side of my neck, a memory of us that I can't quite shake. I can almost feel your breath against my hair, but when I turn around there's only cold air. My body remembers what my mind tries to hide, the way we would tangle, the way we would glide. It's a shivering hum, it's a lingering spark, a static vibration in the dead of the dark. I'm wearing the silence like a heavy coat, while the ghost of your hands is at my throat. Oh, I've got a ghost on my skin, where your touch used to begin. A cinematic shiver, a beautiful ache. The part of me didn't think to take, vulnerable and haunting, your blue kind of sin. I'm living with a ghost on my skin, tracing the places where you used to be, while you're 1,000 miles away from me. I watch the sheets, but I can't watch the feel of the way you made me feel something real. My nerves are all firing, calling your name like a forest that's missing the heat of the flame. I see the impression you left on a better map of the things that will never be said. It's a physical hunger, a tactile regret, a feeling of you that I haven't lost yet. I'm a house that's haunted by a velvet touch, the one I wanted, the one I miss too much. Close my eyes and I'm back in the glow, the touch that I'm never gonna let go. I still feel you. Oh, yeah. I've got a ghost on my skin, where your touch used to begin. Cinematic shiver, a beautiful ache. The part of me you didn't think to take, vulnerable and haunting, a blue kind of sin. I'm living with a ghost on my skin, tracing the places where you used to be, while you're 1,000 miles away from me. Shivering, still feeling you underneath it I'm looking back at the fork in the road, carrying the weight of this heavy load. I thought I was smart, I thought I was free, when I chose the world over you and me. I let go of your hand for a fleeting light, and now I'm the one screaming into the night. A moment of pride, a second of doubt, is all it took to put a fire out. And the silence is expensive, the price is too high, for a version of life that turned out to be a lie. I traded a diamond for a handful of sand, and I'm watching it slip through my trembling hand. This is the cost of my own choices. I'm hearing the echo of our ghost voices, a cinematic ruin, a beautiful mess, paying for the no when I should have said yes. Vulnerable and broken in the 2024. I'd give it all back to be who we were, but the debt is too deep and the interest is voices, living with the cost of wrong choices. I see you now with a smile that's brand new, living a life that I all the way through. I'm standing outside in the bitter cold rain, while you're the one healing from all of my pain. The power of maybe and the should have been is a prison of glass that I'm living within. I bought my freedom, but I lost my home. Now I'm the queen of this kingdom of stone. If I could turn back the hands of the clock, if I could unlock the door and the lock, I'd choose you every time. I'd stay in the groove, but I'm paying the price for letting you go. This is the cost of wrong choices. I'm hearing the echo of our ghost voices. A cinematic ruin, a beautiful mess. Paying for the knowing I should have said yes. Know that rolling broken in the 2025 love. I give it all back to be who we were. The debt is too deep. Living the interest is voices. Living with the cost of our choices. Too late to fix, too much to pay. I threw my forever simply away. I watched the three dots dance and then disappear, while I held my breath and I held my fear. I was waiting for a paragraph, a reason, a sign, something to tell me you were still mine. But the screen went cold and the light turned blue, leaving me stranded with a ghost of you. 1,000 stories, 1,000 nights, reduced to a flicker of electric light. Cursor was blinking like a dying star, tracing a distance to wherever you are. I wanted a chapter, I wanted a play, but you chose the shortest way to leave me. Oh, the final word was goodbye. No, I'm sorry, no, I'll try. Just a cold sharp blade of to the lover and the soul and the only friend. Cinematic silence in the palm of my hand. A sudden crash I didn't plan. Vulnerable and broken under the sky when the final word was goodbye. I scroll through the years just to find a mistake, something to justify the way that I ache. But the I love yous are still sitting there, hanging in the static of the midnight air. How can a lifetime of always and now turn into a word that doesn't know how to hold all the weight of the tears in my eyes? It's a hollow sound for such a heavy price. Said out loud and it feels like a lie. Whisper it soft and it makes me wanna die. The air in a room is starting to thin, now that the never is starting to win. Sweet, it's a final We used to be honey, we used to be wine. Now the taste of your name is a jagged line. The sweetness has curdled, the sugar has gone, leaving me hollow in the gray of the dawn. I remember the syrup, the heat of your skin, but now there's a poison where the light used to be in. Every I love you is a pill I can't take, a slow acting medicine for a heart about to break. It's the way that your voice has a razor sharp edge while I'm standing alone on a window ledge. The fruit is all rotten, the garden is dead, and I'm choking on words that we never said. Oh, when love turns bitter and the golden eye starts to flicker and litter, it's a cinematic crash, it's a beautiful ruin, watching the damage of the things we would do. Feel the spark, just a cold kind of distance, a walk in the dark. We're going through the motions, we're following the script, but the cup of our forever is finally slipped. The chokes aren't funny, the touch feels like stone. How can I feel so lonely when I'm not alone? The fermentation of 1,000 small eyes is showing the truth in your tired eyes. Sugarcoating the pain, no more dancing around in the rain. The bridge is on fire, the water is black, and there's no way for us to find a way back. Throwing lines across the wooden floor, and I'm watching for the ghost behind the bedroom door. I see a silhouette, a shape I used to know, but it's just the curtains moving, putting on a show. I reach my hand out to the space where you would lie, but my fingers meet the coldness of a long goodbye. I'm memorizing all lines, tracing every gray, before the sun comes up and sweeps the dark away. push you everywhere I go. A silent companion in the high and in the low. I'm chasing a reflection in a window pane, trying to find a shelter from the midnight rain. Oh, I'm holding on to your shadow in a well that's feeling empty and shallow. You're a silhouette I can't quite touch, the one I love, the one I miss too much. Cinematic darkness, a beautiful blue. I'm hugging the air that's left behind by you. Vulnerable and hollow in a lonely glow. I'm just holding on to your shadow. I found your jacket hanging in the hallway light, and for a second I forgot we had the fight. I almost whispered honey to the empty hall before I saw the dust settled on the wall. I'm a prisoner of the evening, a hostage of the shade, living in the memory of the promises we made. You're a ghost without a voice, a fire without heat, a hollow kind of victory, a bitter kind of sleep. If I turn on the light, will you disappear? If I keep it dark, can I keep you near? I'm dancing with the nothing, I'm talking to the wall, waiting for the moment that the shadows fall. If I turn on the light, will you disappear? If I keep it dark, can I keep you near? I'm dancing with the nuts and I'm talking to the wall, waiting for the moment that the shadows fall. Sweet. I'm holding on to your shadow in a world that's feeling empty and shallow. You're a silhouette I can't quite touch, the one I love, the one I miss too much. Cinematic darkness, a beautiful blue. I'm hugging the air that's left behind by you. Vulnerable and hollow in a lonely glue. I'm just holding on to your shadows, your shadow. Just a sun, just a blur, wishing you were who you were. A final delicate piano note. I held the light while you walked through the dark. I was the oxygen, you were the spark. I stayed awake while you studied your dreams, holding the edges and sewing the seams. I bought the books and I carried the weight at the finish line, babe. I was the one who believes in your name before the world knew about your new fame. You put on the gown and you walked across the stage, and then you just turned to a brand new page. The tassel was flipped and the honors were read, but you left all our promises under the bed. Now you've graduated from my heart. You've got your degree and a brand new start. I was the teacher, the fuel and the home, but you took the prize and you left me alone. Cinematic tragedy, a beautiful blue. I educated the version of you who doesn't need me anymore. It's a crime. You graduated just in time. You have the diploma, you have the career, but the desk where I sat is no longer here. I was the stepping stone, I was the floor. Now I'm the stranger who stands by the door. You look at me like a lesson you learn, a bridge in the distance that already burned. How can you thank me with such a cold stare, as if I was never even really there? You learned how to fly on my broken wings. You learned how to love by the pain that it brings. You mastered the art of the perfect goodbye under a cold and a capped on light. You graduated from my heart. You've got your degree and a brand new start. I was the teacher, the fuel and the home, but you took the brief and left me alone. Cinematic tragedy, a beautiful blue. I educated the version of you who doesn't need me anymore. It's a crime. You graduated just in time. Class is dismissed. The lights are rolled out. You found a success in a world full of time. A final delicate diagonal note that slowly decays into the silence of 2025. I'm looking at the clock, it's 3 a.m. for you. Oh, my afternoon is turning into blue. 1,000 miles of salt and deep dark sea between the person that you were and me. We're talking to the wires through the glass, watching all the ships in the hours pass. Your face on a screen, a voice in a butt, while the distance is chilling, the heat in my blood. The signal is weak, weak and the static is high, underneath a different kind of sky. I reach for your shoulder, but I'm catching the air, drowning in the feeling that you aren't there. Oh, it's a love across the ocean, lost in the waves of a slow motion, a cinematic tide that's pulling us apart, the blue horizon of a broken heart, vulnerable and wide. The water is deep, too many secrets for the tea to keep. I'm calling your name with a quiet devotion to my love across the ocean. We used to share the same air, the same street. Now I'm just a heartbeat you'll never meet. The map on my wall is a jagged line of a world where you're no longer mine. Is the sun warm over there? Does it rain? Does the distance feel like a physical pain? I'm sending my always in a bottle of glass, watching the years in the white caps pass. The world is too big and the planes are too slow. I'm holding on to what I have to let go. The tide is coming in, the tide is going out. I'm sinking in the middle of a lonely day. It's a love across the ocean, lost in the waves of the slow motion, a cinematic tide that's pulling us apart, the blue horizon of a broken heart, vulnerable and wide. The water is deep, too many secrets for the sea to keep. I'm calling your name with a quiet devotion to my love across the ocean. Just a good life, just a long way, lost in the deep in late 2025. Do you remember the broken down floor? The way we had to prop up the front door. We shared a bowl of rice and a single dream, stitched our lives together at the messy seam. The rain would leak through the ceiling at night, but we didn't care, we had each other's light. No money in our pockets, just stars in our eyes, underneath those gray and heavy city skies. Now the walls are painted gold and white, but I'm shivering the middle of the night. We have everything we said we'd ever need, but we lost the soil where we planted the seed. Oh, those hard times we loved, beautiful blue. I was never richer than when I had you. Vulnerable and lonely, I'm dreaming of those beautiful hard times we loved. I miss the way we walked to say bye. Talking about the future, just killing the time. Now you're in a suit and you're always on the song. In this big expensive house, I'm all alone. The struggle was the glue that kept us so tight. Before me traded us for the neon light, I'd give back the diamonds and the fancy car, just to be back exactly where we were. Is it a tragedy or just a change? How the comfort made us start to feel so strange. We climbed the mountain just to stand a card with a hollow victory and a broken heart. Yeah, there's hard times we had when the only roof we had was the one above. We were broke, but our hearts were so full and deep. Now I have the world, but no promises to keep. Cinematic struggle, a beautiful blue. I was never richer than when I had you. Vulnerable and lonely, I'm dreaming of those beautiful hard times we love. Take me back to the rain. Take me back to the cold. Before we got successful, before we got old, final words up to The bark is rough where we carved our names before the world and its heavy games. A summer afternoon, the shade was our crown while the rest of the city was burning down. You promised me forever on a bed of green, the most beautiful girl that you'd ever seen. Now the branches are bare and the roots are dyed, just like the always that turn to a lie. And the wind is whispering secrets we kept in the very same spot where we lay and we slept. I'm looking for shadows of me and you under a sky that's no longer true. I'm standing under our love tree, looking for the ghosts of who we used to be. The leaves have all fallen, the gold turned to gray, watching so young, we were so sure that a love like this would stay so pure. But the world is a storm and the winter is long, and we weren't built to be that strong. Now I'm leaning my back against the cold wood, wondering if I loved you as much as I should. Let the rain wash the lane from the bark, let the light disappear into the dark. Everything dies and everything grows, but I'm still trapped in the heaven knows, yeah. And I'm standing under our love tree, looking for the ghosts of who we used to be. The leaves are both falling, the gold turns to gray, watching the seasons just carry you away. Cinematic silence, a beautiful ache, a heart that's as fragile as a branch about to break. Vulnerable and lonely, I'm finally free, but I'm still waiting under our love tree. Just another tree, just a dead tree. The wind is cold in 2024. The wind is cold in 2024. I found a box of things we never threw away, a ticket stub, a Polaroid, a rainy Tuesday. We were so messy, we were always late, living on the edge of a jagged fate. Our shoes were worn out and our car was old, but we were warmer than a pot of gold. Fighting in the kitchen and dancing in the hall. We didn't have much, but we had all. Now my life is perfect and my house is clean, but it's the emptiest place that I've ever been. I'm looking for the cracks, I'm looking for the spark that we used to find together in the dark. Oh, those were our beautiful broken days, when we were lost in a golden haze. Nothing was easy, but everything was real. I'd give it all back just to feel what I feel. Same and mad and chaos, so sweet and only bitter. I miss the broken people that we were, vulnerable and messy in so many ways. I'm longing for a beautiful broken days. We used to cry until we started to laugh, splitting our last dollar in a jagged half. The world was a storm, but our bed was a boat, keeping our heavy hearts gently afloat. Now we're successful and we're both okay, but we're strangers who have nothing left to say. The perfect we built is a prison of glass, watching the ghosts of our happiness pass. I miss the mistakes, I miss the repairs, I miss the way we handled our despairs. Because a heart that is whole is a heart that is cold, and I'm missing a story that we never told. Yeah, those were our beautiful broken days, when we were lost in a golden haze. bittersweet and lonely blur. I miss the broken people that we were. Vulnerable and messy in so many ways. I'm longing for our beautiful broken days. It's too quiet now. Everything's too right. I'm missing the struggle in the middle of the night. One room, one bed, and a flickering light. We didn't have much to get through the night. The floorboards would moan and the windows would shake, but we had a love that no winter could break. You made me a table from a crate and some pine, and I called it perfect because you were mine. We shared every secret, we shared every meal, in a world that felt honest, in a world that was real. Now I'm sitting in a mansion with high marble floors, but I can't find the peace behind these heavy doors. I've got the silver, I've got the gold, but the air in this palace is biting, I'm cold. Oh, I miss our small, humble home before we decided we needed to roam, where the walls were so close I could feel your breath in a silence that didn't feel like death. Cinematic and simple, a beautiful blue. I was a queen when I was with you, vulnerable and lonely under this dawn. I'm longing for a small, humble home. Oh, I see the city lights from this balcony view, but all they remind me of is losing you. We traded the us for a bigger space. Now I can't even find a trace of your face. The kitchen is huge, but the hunger remains. The life that we lived without all these chains. I'd burn all the money and tear down the wall to be back in that shack that felt like a hall. Life is a cage. I'm reading the ending on a lonely page. Take me back to the cracks, take me back to the dust, where the only thing solid was our sacred trust. Yeah, I miss our small, humble home before you decided we needed to roam, where the walls were so close I could feel your breath in a silence that didn't feel like death. Cinematic and simple, a beautiful blue. I was a queen when I was with you, vulnerable and lonely under this dawn. I'm longing for a small, humble home. so cold, writing our future in a handwritten note. We counted pennies for a loaf of bread, but I love you was the only thing you said. I was the one who held you in the rain when the world only gave you a shadow of pain. I believed in the king you were meant to be back when you only had a kingdom of me. Now the penthouse view is wide and clear, but I've never felt more invisible here. You're dressed in silk and the finest thread, but you've forgotten the words we used to spread. We went from poverty to gold. Now your heart is looking gray and cold. We bought a dream, but we sold our soul. Now there's a hunger that we can't control. So many riches, a beautiful life underneath the shiny artificial sky. I liked us better when the world was gray, before the gold took your love away. You have the meetings and the late night fights, trading our soul dance for city lights. The jewelry you buy me feels like a chain, a golden bandage for a hidden pain. You don't look at me like a person anymore, just a pretty trophy by the marble door. How can a man who has everything he wants be the same ghost that my memory haunts? Give me the cold nights, give me the death, give me the simple and the sacred trust. I trade the fortune for a moment of truth, back in the hunger of a lonely youth. It's all just a mental. Yeah, we went from poverty to gold. Now your heart is looking gray and cold. We bought the dream, but we sold our soul. Now there's a hunger that we can't control. So many riches, a beautiful life underneath the shiny artificial sky. I liked us better when the world was gray, before the gold took your love away. So much money. So I'm sitting on a throne that's made of stone. I find I'm cold, pure core, fades into the silence of 2025. I'm standing in the hallway, staring at the flare where your shadow doesn't wait for me anymore. The sunlight hits the carpet in the same old way, but the colors in this house have all turned to gray. This is the corner where we danced in the dark, leaving our footprints, leaving a mark. Now the walls are just plaster, the wood is just wood. I'd tear it all down if I only could. Every door I open is a memory's trap, a sudden reminder of the bridge in the gap. I'm walking through ghosts, I'm walking through dreams, while the silence is tearing me apart at the seams. Yeah, in these rooms where we play, I'm watching the light and the memories fade. We built a world that leads for empty walls. Now I'm just an echo that nobody calls. Cinematic and lonely, a hollow design of a life that was yours, of a life that was mine. Vulnerable and still I'm losing a shade. play. The kitchen table has a stain from your cup, a little brown circle I can't wash up. We used to stay awake until the birds sang loud. Now I'm just a face in a one-person crowd. I hear laughter in the bathroom steam, but it's just the static of a broken dream. I'm living in a museum of the way we were. Everything's sharp, everything's a blur. The bed is too big, the ceiling's too high. I'm trapped in a hole beneath the roof of a lie. I'm chasing the wallpaper, tracing your name, but the house stays the same. Why don't I feel the same? Yeah, yeah, yeah. In these rooms where we played, I'm watching the light and the memories fade. We built a world in these four empty walls. Now I'm just an echo that nobody calls. Cinematic and lonely, a hollow design of a life that was yours, of a life that was mine. Vulnerable and still I'm losing the shade in the rooms where we play. Just an empty room, just an empty heart. I'm still here, but your world's apart. The sky was a canvas of deep indigo, and we were the only ones down here below. You looked at the silver, you looked at the white, and swore that you'd stay through the dead of the night. We traced the craters and we traced the scars, making our vows through a handful of stars. I believed every word, I believed every sight, under that cold and that permanent sky. But the moon is a mirror of things that won't stay, changing its shape as it's pulling away. You were a tide that was destined to turn, leaving me here with a memory to burn. Oh, those promises under the moon, they faded away like a midsummer tune, a cinematic lie in a botanic glow of a love that I didn't want to let go. Vulnerable and still I'm watching the light of a ghost that is haunting the middle of a night. I'm left with the silver and a heart out of tune, with the promises under the moon. I'm standing right here on the same patch of grass, watching the shadows of the 20-foot clouds pass. The moon is still there, but you're nowhere near, just the hollow vibration of a silent fear. How can a light that is so bright and so pure be the same one that made me feel so secure? Now it just shines on the space where you stood, a cold reminder of the never-ending. story you made me believe, but the stars are still there, they're still in the sky, and I'm the only one left here to cry. Just a cold light in the dark, a final delicate piano note that lingers and slowly fades into the midnight air. We were just children with stars in our eyes, building a kingdom on beautiful lies. You were the first one to call on my name, the first one to light up this flickering flame. I remember the jacket you lent me in June, in the way that we danced to a radio tune. It was so simple, the world was so small, before we were forced to grow up and to fall. The same lips that whispered, I'll never let go, are the same ones that tell me it's time to move slow. The ink in our story is finally dry, from the heat of the love to the cold of the pride. Oh, my first love, my last goodbye. I'm watching the light leave the edge of the sky. The circle is closing, the ending is near. The one that I wanted is the one that I fear. Cinematic tragedy, a beautiful blur. I'm losing a girl and a boy that we were. Vulnerable and broken, I'm wondering why. You're my first love and my last goodbye. I have kept every letter and every old key, to a version of you that no longer sees me. You were the map and the home and the start. Now you're the crack in the base of my heart. How do I say that final farewell to the person who knows every secret I tell? It's a heavy horizon, a long distance stare at the ghost of a promise that's no longer there. The first time I breathed was the moment we met. The last time I cried is a moment I am. You're the bookend of everything I've ever known, and now I must walk through the pages alone. Yeah, my first love, my last goodbye. I'm watching the light leave the edge of the sky. The circle is closing, the ending is near. The one that I wanted is the ones that I fear. Cinematic tragedy, a beautiful blur. I'm losing the girl and the boy that we were. Vulnerable and broken, I'm wondering why. You're my first love and my last goodbye. A lover, a friend. We were 17 and the world was white. Nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. You leaned in close by the rusted gate. Before we knew anything about time or fate, I remember the rush, the pull of the tide, the beautiful feeling of opening wide. Everything shifted, the air turned to sweet with the sound of the city beneath our feet. It was the first time I felt my heart move, finding a rhythm, finding a groove. A promise spoken in a whisper so low, the kind of forever that kids only know. That first breath of love, pure as the light from the moon above. I didn't know then that it had to end, that a lover could turn to a ghost of a friend. Cinematic and tragic, a beautiful blue. The very first time that I whispered you. Now I'm just gasping, trying to find the first breath of love that I left I can still feel the ghost of your hand on my face, the innocent magic of that time and place. The word love was a way that we didn't yet know, a seed in a good and we wanted to grow. Now I've said it to others and I've heard it before, but it doesn't ring true like it did at your door. It's been diluted by years and by tears, by the quiet accumulation of fears. How do I feel spread the love that I left behind. One breath, one look, started a story before the end of the book. Sound of buzz of exhale, followed by a final fading piano. I thought the well had finally run dry, that I'd forgotten the way that I cried. I was doing okay, I was standing tall, until I saw your name written on the wall. Now it's a leak that I can't seem to plug, a sudden craving for your ghost of a hug, that falling on my hands are falling on the floor, like 1,000 visitors knocking at my door. And I'm blinking fast, but it doesn't help. I'm losing the battle with my own self. One little thought and the dam starts to break, leaving a trail of a beautiful lake. These are the tears I can't stop, falling like a stone, drop after drop. The cinematic river, the saltwater sea, drowning a version of who I should be. Vulnerable and heavy in the 20th white rain. There's no umbrella for this kind of pain. I'm reaching for air, I'm reaching for the top. But these are the tears I can't stop. I'm sitting in a car and hitting my glass, watching the world and the strangers pass. They don't know I'm melting away and see all the rhythm of my sorrow is the only beat. It's not a loud sob, it's not a big scene, just a quiet vibration of the might have been. They're washing my face, they're blurring the light, turning the day into a permanent night. How much can a heart actually bleed before it's all gone, before it's a sea? I'm empty and full at the exact same time, paying for a love that felt like a crime. Sweet answers keep falling. Yeah, these are the tears I can't stop, falling like a storm, drop after drop. A cinematic river, a saltwater sea, drowning the version of who I should be. Vulnerable and heavy in the 20th tribe of rain. There's no umbrella for this kind of pain. I'm reaching for air, I'm reaching for the top. But these are the tears I can't stop. So to my lips, stains on my sleeves, still missing the one who quietly leaves. I found a photo in a box on the floor, from a summer we don't live in anymore. Your arm was around me, my head on your chest, back when our hearts were at their very best. The sunlight was golden, the air tasted like peach. Everything we wanted was within our reach. No hair heavy silences, no cold empty beds, just a million forevers inside of our heads. Now I'm tasting the salt of a lonely regret, while the sun on our story is finally set. I'm looking for sugar in a world that's gone great, wishing I could just rewind the day. Oh, those sweeter days we had, when being happy didn't make me this sad. It's a cinematic memory, a soft focus dream, tearing slowly at the center seam. Vulnerable and blue, I'm holding the ghost of the version of us that I love the most. Stuck in the honey, stuck in the past, in the sweeter days that didn't last. We used to share a soul and a seat on the bus. The whole world was quiet just to listen to us. Now I'm drinking my coffee and staring at the wall, watching the leaves of our season start to fall. How did the syrup turn into the size? Paying for the memories at such a high price. I'm memorizing the way that you used to smile, just to keep me warm for a little while. Everything was candy, everything was light, before we drifted into the middle of the night. I'm reaching for the flavor, I'm reaching for the glow, but the more I hold on, the more I have to let go. Yeah, those sweeter days we shared, when being happy didn't make me this sad. It's a cinematic memory, a soft focus dream, tearing slowly at the center seam. Vulnerable and blue, I'm holding a ghost, stuck a version of us that I love the most. Stuck in the honey, stuck in the past, in the sweeter days that didn't last. So sweet it hurts, so clear it's gone. I taste all the light in the lonely I'm looking at the dust on the first book we read, before all the forevers were things that we said. You were wearing that shirt with the tear in the sleeve, and I was the girl who was quick to believe. We sat on the stairs of that apartment uptown, watching the sun as it finally went down. Everything was a question, everything was a lie, before the long winter, before the long night. The air was so heavy with things we didn't know, like how much a heart has to break just to grow. I'm reaching for the spark, I'm reaching for the sun, back to the moment before we were done. Oh, back to when we first began, when I was your world and you were my man. A cinematic dream in a soft focus glow. Before we had secrets we didn't wanna know. Vulnerable and sweet in a felt so new when your laugh was so clear. Before it was muffled by another year. We were building a kingdom on a foundation of sand, with a map of the future in the palm of our hand. Now the kingdom has fallen, the map is all torn, and I'm just a stranger feeling weathered and worn. How did the always turn into not yet, leaving me drowning in a sea of regret? I give up the wisdom, I give up the truth, just to be back in the heat of our youth. To the very first second, the very first touch, before I realized I loved you too much. Take me back to the start. Yeah, back to when we first began, when I was your world and you were my man. A cinematic dream in a soft hope whisper. Before we had secrets we didn't wanna know. Vulnerable and sweet in a beautiful world. I'm missing the people that we really were. Stuck in the magic, stuck in the plan. Back to enemies thirsty can. The very first date, the very first look, before we finish the rest of the book.